Important exhibition of Greek objects and art we have had in England ever. I think there is a message that is historical, but still politically has to be said. Macedon is a Greek-speaking kingdom in northern Greece, populated by people using Greek names, Greek months in the year, worshipping Greek gods. Those who live in Skopje and say that that is Macedon and Alexander's homeland are as ignorant and outrageous as if someone were to say that Oxford University was really in Belarus and Oxford was Minsk.
In 359, a man called Philip became king of Macedon. We know the Macedonians were fundamentally Greeks. That is to say, they were Greek speakers, and ethnically, if there is such a thing, they were Greek. But they were so far out of the mainstream of the development of the Greek polis that we have been examining this semester, that many, many Greeks, perhaps most of them, didn't think of them as being Greek. You know, when Greeks thought about what it was to be a Greek, they thought about more than the fact that they spoke the Greek language. They thought fundamentally, if you get to Aristotle, you see how thoroughly true this is. It had to do with a culture, a way of life, and that way of life was based upon the independent polis. Well, Macedon did not have such a structure. Macedon, the Greeks called the Macedonians an ethnos, a tribal group is what that sort of means. We use the word sort of nation somehow, but for the Greeks it had a different meaning. It was people who participated in the culture that they designated as Hellenic, and they thought the Macedonians fell outside of that. There were no polis in the Macedonian kingdom, and they thought of it as uncivilized in the technical sense. If you don't live in a polis, a city as they understood it, then you are not civilized. You are part of an ethnos, and that's the term they used of the tribal societies all around them. In a certain sense, if a Greek had looked at Macedonian society prior to Philip, he might have described it as Homeric. The Macedonians, on the other hand, claimed very proudly and powerfully and insistently that they were Greeks, they were Hellenes, and they probably invented a myth of their descent, indeed, not merely from Greeks, but from the real Greeks, that is to say, the Argives, who were the leading people in the time of Homer's poetry, and they claimed direct descent from Agamemnon and the other Argive